Hey everybody, today we're just going to look over the what's new in Logic 10.7.2. This came out a couple days ago now, but I'm just now firing up the computer and installing it and seeing what we have in here. For the most part, a lot of this is just going to be stability and reliability with some bug fixes. A lot of sentences that include the phrase "logic no longer quits." And so we have a bunch of things like that. I will say there were a few things which, uh, again, I think added some value that weren't just bug fixes, but actually make a difference. And I don't. It seems to be the more we update this and the more features are added, the harder it is to keep track of what was there at one point has been removed and brought back. So if any things I'm talking about fit into that category, well, let me know because I'm curious about how that works. For me, the thing that I think is the biggest addition here, and let's see, right down here under content. It is now possible to load a channel strip CST file by dragging it from the Finder to the channel strip header. So we couldn't do this in the old days for sure, but I do like the idea of just, having like a thumb drive with some of our channel strips or sharing channel strips. And now we can just drag them from the Finder to the channel strip header. And so we can just pull them straight off of a drive. And it's kind of like having easy access to templates or, presets. And I think that that's a really handy way to be able to do that. For the most part, everything else are things like just getting fixed. So we have some general fixes, some editing fixes. We have export and bounce fix. There were some issues there. Some control surface fix. Logic remote automation. The impulse response utility had something going on. There's some MIDI 2.0 support update. Some additional plugins. This was the other thing of all of these bugs and things. This is the one that was the most annoying for the past couple weeks. On your mixer, you have those little thumbnails for your EQ and what the curve is doing, and they weren't showing up right. So I would set an EQ to a certain thing, and you'd close the actual plugin interface and just look at the mixer, and it would have like a straight line, or it would have something else that wasn't accurate. And theoretically now, let's go back in here for a second. Let's just try one of these real quick to make sure. So we do a little pull up and it's updating down there already. That's more than we were getting over the past few weeks with that update. And it's just like, how do we break stuff like this? But we do. And I mean, they did. It wasn't us. But now that seems to be working very nicely again. And such a relief because what a pain in the butt. You get used to seeing things a certain way and then it doesn't work and we miss that. So we have some mixer things. And perhaps one of the scariest things about a list like this is how many things could have been or were broken in your projects without even knowing about it. And so it does scare me a little bit. I know that this is software development everywhere. It's not just Apple and Logic, but this kind of stuff can certainly, some of these things could really affect your projects. For instance, with the flex time and pitch, you could have analyzed something and it would reset all your flex pitch data. And you may not have like checked every little bit and noticed that it was, resetting things. And so, I mean, that could cause you some angst at some point and a lot of time and effort. It's a good reminder to be saving your projects often and doing alternate versions so you can get back into, previous things if you need to. But certainly, so many things happening here. And then performance. We do have some performance upgrades just to help with that. Let's see. So resolves an issue in auto sampler where playback to USB audio interfaces could become distorted. I mean, I use the auto sampler quite a bit more than most people, but it's like, why? And then if you're going back and forth between GarageBand for iOS, there were some issues and so forth. So quite a bit, again, of, fixing some stuff. More than they fixed in 10.7.1. So 10.7.2, not too long after the 10.7.1 came out. I love that they're updating this. I'm terrified that there's so much to continually be fixing without even adding really any new features. But there was the one dragging the channel strips out, and everything else was enhancements or bug fixes or things that say Logic no longer quits unexpectedly. Yay for that. What bugs are you still facing? That's what I want to know. What things on this list didn't fix something that you're experiencing? Drop that in the comments below, and I think we'll have a great conversation.